Hello guys, welcome to the video, and today we will be talking about mental health and why it is so hard for men to talk about it. And the reason number one why it's so hard for men to talk about mental health is this saying that in the 90s was very popular, even I loved it. Be like Mike. What that means is that you will have to fight to win no matter what. No emotions, no sentiments, no defeat, nothing. You just have to be great and great at everything you do. You just have to be performing at the best level of your imagination. And to some people, like Michael Jordan, that was possible. But as we saw in his documentary, The Last Dance, you can tell that even he struggled with mental health, with depression, with, feeling down a little bit, but then getting back up. For him, Be Like Mike was, I can lose today, but tomorrow I'll get up and do better. But he's a human being. We don't know the real Michael Jordan. We only know what the media and everybody else says about the guy. We make him be Superman or Batman. And that's another thing. Comic book superheroes and movie superheroes make it really hard for us to be normal humans. For example, a superhero like Superman never fails. He's never defeated. He can conquer everything. There's no sad moments. And that's one of the reasons I prefer Spider-Man. To be completely honest, I prefer Spider-Man over Batman or Superman any time of the day. But that type of stereotype, man, Clint Eastwood or James Bond or something like that, you never see them fail, really. And when they fail, it's like, I'll just brush it off and let's keep moving. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're able to do that yourself, well, that's great. But not every man is built on the same mold. Not every man was raised the same way. And that's one of the things that make it difficult for man to say, hey, I failed. I remember when I got fired last year in 2021 without any explanation. And I remember feeling like a failure. And it was so hard to say, hey, I did this. And I failed. And I got fired. And it's the end of the road for me. And honestly, one of the reasons was because my sole purpose of quitting my job before that to going to that job was because I wanted to be a winner. I wanted to earn more moolah. And then all of a sudden, I get let go without any single explanation, no reasoning as to why. Then I see the store close from Mondays to Tuesdays nowadays, and you start to realize that it's hard to talk about these things. It's really hard. And that winning mentality can only take you so fucking far. It's okay to have a winning mentality, but you also have to be able to have a circle of friends where you can say, dude, I've screwed up so many times. Like, I threw that shot in the basket and it failed to go in like 100 times and I only made 2 shots. And yet people claim that I'm the best player in the world. It's not that you have to be a loser and whine about it. It's that you should at least be able to say, this sucks. And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. There's nothing wrong with saying this sucks and to explain it. And be kind to yourself. Like, not everybody's going to be Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James. Not everybody's going to have that DNA in them. For those who do, congratulations. You made it. For those like us, we have to work extra hard to get where you guys have gotten to. And that's okay. There's no excuses. You can be a winner, but also take the loss and explain to yourself and watch the tape as to see how you lost. Kobe Bryant did it. Michael Jordan did it. LeBron James does it. Every time they lost a game, they sat down and said, okay, this happened. I didn't pass the ball this way. I didn't say this. I didn't move this way. I should have spotted in this position. I let this guy shoot the ball, but he's not a great shooter. All of that. Sit down and acknowledge that you failed. And if you have to acknowledge it to somebody else, there's nothing wrong with that. Number 2, don't be a crybaby. Or men don't cry. This is another big one that I hate the most. Sorry, my beard's scratchy. This one I hated the most because, in all honesty, there is absolutely nothing wrong with crying. Yeah, crying is not going to solve the problem, the situation, the failing, the death of somebody. But crying is going to help you cope with yourself. It's going to help you move on. And what men tend to do is that they put those emotions deep inside them. Oh my God, my woman called me a loser. I'm going to not cry. I'm just going to suck it up and be pissed at her. Or my coworkers laughed at me, or my classmates laughed at me, and I feel like shit, but you know what? I'm a man. I'm going to keep it in there. I'm going to say nothing about how I feel. Then one day, something big happens. They get fired. They lose a parent. They lose a child. And all those pin emotions were there. They never let them out. And finally, the cup is full. And the water starts to spill. You see this cup, the water. Imagine this is you. Everything inside this cup is your emotions, and everything starts spilling in. So you start saying to yourself, I'm going to drown the pain. I'm going to go to a bar and I'm going to start drinking, or I'm going to go somewhere, I'm going to start injecting myself. And all of a sudden, this cup gets more water in it. And more water. And all of a sudden, the whole table is full of water because your cup can no longer hold it. I saw that with my parents, my grandparents. I saw the anger and resentment they had at some point, the sadness they had. I saw how my mom started doing that until I started fighting with her not to do so. You gotta understand, my mom is a single mom. So she was my dad and my mom. So she had to suck it up and also work and do the things that many people today don't want to do. But she did them, and I appreciate them greatly. But my mom used to not say anything. I don't feel anything. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna cry. And then she will pass that on to me. And then one day I'm reading the Bible. And I was a Christian back then. I had this version of the Bible. And I read that Jesus cried when his best friend Lazarus died. Think about it in the story, right? Because many of you probably don't believe in it. Many of you do. But in the story, it says that Jesus could resurrect people. That Jesus could heal people. That Jesus had the power, or has the power, to terminate all those diseases and problems. He still cried for his friend. And he was a man that was hit many times with a whip. He was a man that was put in a crown of thorns in his flesh that peeled into his skin, and he was bleeding all over. He was a guy that was impaled so that the blood will come out, so he will die sooner. And yet, in none of those moments did he cry, or so says the Bible. But in that moment when his friend died, he let himself feel emotion. Then you see dramas that many people call effeminized, like Korean dramas, and you see manly men crying. Like it's okay to let those emotions go. But in our culture, we're told, if you are a man, you should never cry. Like in Darth Vader's voice, because that's how it sounds like. Let me tell you this, guys. If I didn't cry, if I didn't show my emotions, if I didn't communicate with my wife and my mom and my family and my friends, many of those relationships will not be here today. I will probably be addicted to something because of all the friends I lost because of the cult and my decision to leave. And because of all the things I've been through, I probably would have drowned in wine and rum and whiskey and tequila, and I wouldn't be here today. Because I suffer from anxiety and depression, and drinking and filling my cup would only make it worse. So guys, it's okay to cry. It's okay to freaking cry. It's okay to say that you're not okay. But it's also important to have a plan as to what you're gonna do after you let those emotions out. Because it's not all about crying. Yeah, men should be allowed to share their emotions, their feelings, and cry. But men also are expected to come up with a plan. I'm a guy, I know. I'm a husband, I know. I'm a father, I know. So when we're done moaning and crying and sharing, we have to get back to work. It's not that we're cutting ourselves some slack. It's not that we don't want to be a winner like Mike. It's that we want ourselves to be okay so that we can carry on with the next thing that's going to come. Because trust me, it's going to come. Number 3, saying that nothing is wrong. Listen, I do this all the time. I'm at fault in this one. I say, nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong. And my wife is like, bullshit. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to me. What's going on? And I think having that been said by my partner is one of the best things that could have happened to me. We tend to say nothing's wrong, when deep inside we want to punch a wall and break it. When deep inside we want to go to bed and punch the bed as hard as we will punch somebody that we were pissed at. Sometimes we just want to cry, stay in the room all day, not do anything. Because for us, opinions matter. We hate to say it, but it's true. Think about it, like a former Jehovah's Witness leave their religion. They're excommunicated. They can't talk to their mother. They can't talk to their sisters, his brothers. They can't talk to the best friends that they have made for 24 years. All of a sudden, you find yourself alone. In this world, the only person you have is your wife, which is not a Jehovah's Witness, and yourself. But if you say nothing's wrong, and you're like, they're just some people I knew in the past. Oh yeah, no, those are some guys that I used to know, that I cared about back in the day, and it's been 24 years and I don't care anymore. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to your partner. You're lying to your family. And you're lying to yourself. When there's big changes like that, you need support. You need a friend. You need somebody that can guide you. and you need to say what's wrong. For me, I have very little friends. When I was a witness, I had tons of them, left and right. But then I moved to the United States and I noticed nobody tested me, nobody reached out to me, only a very few group of people did. I always have to be the one chasing. Then I leave the religion. Those friends are already gone, but I push them away even more because they're not going to be allowed to talk to me anyways. And you find yourself alone. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who to talk to. Sometimes you share something with a coworker, they turn against you, or they try to hurt you even more to protect themselves and their asses. So who do you go to? Who do you talk to? Who is your friend? That's what I faced. That's what I'm still facing, and I'm not okay from it. Thank God that I have a good friend that left that religion as well. And I can talk to him about how I'm feeling and how our struggles are going and where we go from here. I can call him my mentor even. And I hope, Joe Cortez, you're watching this and you understand this yourself. You are one of my mentors. And I appreciate every time you test me, every time you write to me without me writing to you. Every time you send me a meme, I appreciate it, man. I love you for that. Man, it's okay to say that you're not okay, dude. You're not gonna have an arm fall off of you and have an unmanly t-shirt written in front of you not saying how you feel. That's how you break. You can go to the gym all you want. You can work out all you want. You can hang out with buddies all you want, but if something's not right in your house and you're keeping it to yourself and you're not talking to your partner about what's wrong and you're not talking to yourself about what's wrong and you're not looking for help in the medical field or your friends, you're going to turn to alcohol. You're going to turn to drugs. Or worse, you're going to turn to suicide. If you ever feel like committing suicide, look for help. Trust me, it's there. The fight is there every single day. The fight is there. For any guy, for any man. Just a few days ago, I saw this person anonymously on Facebook in a mental health group say they were going to commit suicide because nobody fucking cared. Somebody in my wife's line of work wanted to do the same because he did something terrible. But you gotta be willing to say that you're not fucking okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I want to end with this. If you need help, if you are having thoughts of suicide, if you are having thoughts of committing that crime to yourself, there's help. Go to Google, write down suicide helpline and call. If you need to cry, fucking cry, dude. You're not gonna be less manly because you fucking cry. Because some of us, many of us, have to get up and take care of our daughter. Sometimes many of us have to take care of our wife. But if we cannot take care of ourselves, how the hell are we supposed to take care of others? I was illustrated this way. Let's say you ask me for water. You say, hey, Daniel, I want a cup of water. but there's no water in the fridge. And I go and I give you a cup. And you look at the cup and you're like, it's empty. What the fuck, dude? I told you to bring me water. Well, I have no water. You are that water. If you don't take care of yourself and having water in the fridge, you won't be able to take care of your partners, your family, your children, and give them what they deserve. So that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope that you guys have a great day. By the end of the video, there's going to be another video talking about Jehovah's Witnesses' mental health and why they struggle with it. Also, be sure to like this video so that we can have this video get up there. Subscribe. Make sure you turn notifications on so that you can keep in touch with my videos and my content and when I upload content. And I will talk to you on the next video. Take care, guys.